You know where I live at right now, where I'm still living at? I'm living in my city right now. I still ain't left my city. I'm still doing my shit. But I'm still famous at the same time. I'm still recognized. I mean, you only got one life at the end of the day, and my city is so small to the point. Dreams it's a very small chance of completing your goals.
It's like that wherever you from, you will get hated the most. You know, most rappers die in their own city. It's a fact.
Say Jaydayoungan got say a prayer for him right quick, then.
It's a fatal shooting that's grabbed national headlines with a well-known rapper in his hometown of Bogalusa. Officials say a family member was also shot and survived.
So we are learning more about the deadly shooting in Bogalusa.
The family of the Devorius Scott, known as Jaydayoungan, they say that he was standing outside of his home on Superior Avenue when someone opened fire, the rap artist.
Tried to hop at some shit, got them boy name tatted, diss me in songs, trade in songs. Nah, smoking your ass. Nah, smoking Jaydayoungan, bro.
Hey yo, squad, what's the drill? Back with another video, man. You know, nowadays it's a wonder that being a rapper doesn't come with some type of hazard pay, because at this point, the dangers that come with the job are immense. The additional unfortunate truth that comes along with this realization is that it's mostly the youth and young adults that are getting taken out on the job. The latest casualty in this dirty job is a young brother from Bogalusa, Louisiana, Jaydayoungan. At just 24 years old, he was hit along with his own flesh and blood, and that's one depressing thing to wrap your head around. Information is trickling out slowly about the incident, but you already know how we do. So without further ado, let's skip the play and get down to business. Devorius Scott, aka Jaydayoungan, was born July 15, 1998 in Bogalusa, Louisiana. Growing up in a small town, it came along with the typical trappings and sets of ups and downs. But all in all, it was all love to Jay. Before he was a rapper, Jay had dreams of being a hooper. Looking up to players like Rajon Rondo, he had hopes of being a point guard. However, with school not being a high priority for him, his hoop dream naturally faltered.
And all my family members, like shit, most of them, you know, they ain't go the right route. So shit, what I was trying to do was, shit, I had hoop dreams at first and shit. I was trying to go to the NBA.
With a mother in the military, Jay had to make a decision as a teenager to live with his grandmother. He dropped out of school in the 12th grade, and that's when he decided to pursue a career in rap full time.
I moved with my mama. She was in the army, so she had got stationed at, like in another state, another city and shit. So I had moved my grandma in Bogalusa. Normal lifestyle, high school, dropped out of high school in 12th grade. Started my rap career and shit.
2017 is when he really hit the scene hard. From that point on, he never took his foot off the gas. That year saw him release his second mixtape and his breakthrough project, Rough Way. The tape really jump-started his buzz on a local and regional level, a buzz that will only grow even larger with the dropping of his video, Interstate. The video got 4 million views in less than a month, and from there, it was really up for the youngin'. He would go on to continue to climb the rap game ladder and getting higher with every release, with tapes like The Real Jumpman 23, Wake Up, Endless Pain, and others. It was obvious that bro was here to stay and was a definite force to be reckoned with. But what would a hood rapper's career be without run-ins with the Alphabet Boys? In 2019, Jay saw his first high-profile arrest since having fame. He was arrested and charged with felony possession of a controlled substance without a prescription in Gadsden County, Florida. Prior to the arrest, a state trooper led to the finding of 20 grams of herb, illegal paraphernalia, and oxys. Then to add insult to injury, one of the occupants was found to be in possession of a loaded firearm. And 2021 was especially brutal to the young brother. On September 16th of that year, Jaydayoungan was arrested on charges of accessory to second-degree hit and obstruction of justice, revolving around a fatal incident that occurred in August of the previous year. 4 days later, however, Scott was released on $175,000 bail. The following 2 incidents were just a month apart, taking place in both October and November respectfully. It was clear that dude was going through a bit of a rough patch, but sooner or later, things would quiet down and he would get back to his music grind, dropping more new hotness in the first half of 2022. But sadly, those would be the last projects that he would be able to actually see the response to, because on July 27th, Big 23 was assassinated in his hometown on the front porch of his mother's house.
That he was standing outside of his home on Superior Avenue when someone opened fire, killing the rap artist.
His grandfather had enough heart and love for his grandson to have a talk with the news and told the story of what happened as he heard it.
This is only what I hear. Someone came up from behind the house, and with a ski mask on, and gunned them down in broad open daylight on a public road, a road that's a busy road. So people have gotten so bold of doing things today because they know or they feel like they won't be caught.
Based on the footage released by TMZ a little after the incident, it was clear that Jay wasn't hiding from anyone and he was living in plain sight, right where he grew up. As I've said before, I can't always blame these rappers for staying where they were most comfortable. It's a catch-22 that only a few could understand. If you gonna stay close to home though, I do think rappers should take more precautions to ensure the safety of them and their loved ones. Police say they received a call about the incident just before 6 p.m. on Wednesday. They were then notified about another incident that happened shortly after 7 p.m. about 4 miles from the first event. Authorities said a car was hit, but the occupants were reportedly not injured. This is believed to be in retaliation for the Jay hit. Bogalusa police took to Facebook to release information about Jay's demise. The other victim, identified by multiple news outlets as Kenyatta Scott Sr., the rapper's father, was said to be in stable condition. Some also believe the hit was intended for him and Jay was collateral damage. However, there is no real weight to that at the moment to make it more than a theory. Reports state that Kenyatta was able to make it to the hospital via a POV or private vehicle, while Jaydayoungan was found wounded at the scene. Details aren't quite clear as to why the father would be heading to the hospital without his son. Some believe it was because of the current situation he's in with the law. He spoke to TMZ about the exact details of what went down according to him. In a text-only interview, Kenyatta says he and Jaydayoungan were sitting in the front yard of the house on Wednesday evening when a black truck pulled up and 3 people hopped out with straps. They tried running inside the house, but 2 more people with heaters approached from the side of the property, and then shots rang out. The father says he was armed too and shot back to defend himself and his son. He was shot twice in the arm while Jay was struck at least 8 times. Sky remains in the hospital, and at this moment, he also believes his son's untimely demise was a result of jealousy that he made it out of Bogalusa. He thinks whoever was behind it was envious of Jaydayoungan's success. According to him, his son didn't have beef with anybody, and he doesn't think it was gang-related at all. Bogalusa Police Chief Kendall Bullen told TMZ cops are looking at all possibilities for a motive, including gangs and/or retaliation. Bogalusa Mayor Wendy Perrette urged residents to remain calm while police investigate Jay's assassination. She also spoke to local news about the incident, demanding that violence be stopped.
We reached out to Bogalusa Mayor Wendy Perrette about these shootings. She's calling this a senseless crime, demanding that Louisiana State Police come in, help Bogalusa Police there, as well as the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office.
The senseless incident in Bogalusa is another tragic reminder of the pain that violent crime brings with it, Perrette said. My thoughts and prayers are with the victims' families and their friends. As your mayor and as a mother, I plead on behalf of our community and our children. Today must mean enough is finally enough. Stop the violence. See something, say something. Perrette also asked the Louisiana State Police to assist the Bogalusa Police Department and the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office in the investigation. It would seem that this woman is about her business and trying to get things solved. I guess only time will tell though, for real. The internet has been going crazy with stories of what could have happened and why it happened. There are so many theories it's hard to keep up. However, some YouTubers have louder platforms than others, and for once, I'm not talking about DJ Academics. This time, I'm talking about King AK-47. In an explosive 3-hour live stream, this man let all types of cats out of all types of bags. He claims that all his information was given to him by folks from Bogalusa and those close to Jay and his family. His first declaration was a confirmation that the whole incident definitely was not a backdoor situation, as the house where the incident took place was his mother's and everybody knew where it was.
Everybody knew where his mom's crib was. There's no dropping of location. There's no back door. There's no family member set him up. There's no none of that.
He even went on to say that no rappers that he publicly had issues with had anything to do with this either.
And Bogalusa, nothing to do with Young Boy, nothing to do with Quando Rondo, nothing to do with Julio Fulio, nothing to do with none of that shit. All right? And I'm stamping that, and I'm putting that on my kids, man.
Also, there was supposedly an assassination attempt on Jay's life last weekend at a party, but Jay was never hit. Instead, his father got hit in the backside one time.
They, just this last weekend, y'all, they tried to kill Jaydayoungan this weekend. Jaydayoungan didn't get hit, but his daddy got hit one time in his ass. This facts, nigga.
One thing AK-47 believes he knows for a fact is that the person who did it will either be in prison or in dirt real soon. And so the cycle continues, man. The information that came from AK-47 is a little different than what came from Kenyatta and TMZ, which is the more recent disclosure. So I guess you could take what AK's saying with a grain of salt, and all the information should come out eventually. But man, with so much talent and such a bright future ahead of him, it truly is a tragedy that Jaydayoungan is gone. You never really seen him on camera talking crazy, and his demeanor was always cool. Bruh seemed like a real brother. Rest up to the real Jumpman 23, man.